Just to mention special mention of Winter Olympics. Right now, we have one athlete who was qualified as we speak to the Winter Olympics again in Beijing in February. She participated in the previous Winter Olympics 2018 in South Korea, and she also participated in the World Skiing Championship earlier this year in February. She's doing very well. We know next year she'll be going as a participant. We pray and hope that by 2026 Winter Olympics, which will be in Italy, she'll go there as a competitor, because that's the long-term vision we have to keep having for all our athletes. The rest are just the results of Commonwealth African Games, where we were happy to work very closely with Kenya National Sports Council to be able to deliver a team successfully. We were able to send teams to beach volleyball, to beach games, African beach games. We were not lucky for the World Beach Games, but we are hoping next time Kenya can be able to send to the World Beach Games and all the others. The others is just the youth games, where we had good representation, and Anoka Zone 5, and the rest. This is an area which I would need to just expound a little bit more, because we keep talking about it. By the time we came in 2017, a lot of the International Olympic Committee solidarity programs had been suspended. They had been suspended because of lack of reporting. And through an engagement probably for 1 to 1.5 years' time, we were able to make reports of all the outstanding reports in terms of the International Olympic Committee, and then we were put back into the Olympic Solidarity Program. The Olympic Solidarity Program, as most of you are aware, gives money pretty much like how NGOs in Kenya operate, based on a particular project. So once that project is finished, a report is required, then the rest of the money can be sent. And we were able to complete those outstanding reports and start benefiting. And we are happy that consistently in the last 3 years, we've been able to get at least 40 programs happening. We believe that the accounts will be able to represent that. Over 300,000 US dollars has been utilized through the different programs. We have over 3,000 beneficiaries, not in terms of just numbers. We can be able to give names of the beneficiaries who were able to do it. We have athletes, 180 athletes who have been trained. More importantly, on the athlete transition, which I'll be talking about later. We have individual athlete scholarships, especially the ones which were for Tokyo. And we have team scholarships, where we had about 3 teams benefit from this scholarship. Very important that as much as we focused on athlete-centered approach, we knew that an athlete is not by themselves. We need a team around them. And one of the areas which we focused on was to develop coaches and coaching programs. And I'd just like to mention, as you can see, that's just a representation of a lot of other programs to develop coaches which have happened. The one I would like to mention is the one for Kenya Hockey Union through the international body, where they came and put up a national training programs. I think now they're moving towards focusing on the short version of hockey, the 5-a-side. We all see how Zambia has done very, very well, going to the top in terms of that version. And I believe Kenya Hockey Union found it necessary, important to be able to focus on that. That's not the end. As we speak now, Kenya Handball Federation has benefited from an equivalent program. And what they want to do is they want to train coaches across the country so they can be able to have one system of coaching and therefore one system of Kenyan play. The rest was taekwondo, tennis, and then strength and conditioning. We had a sports science program, because obviously we all know that sports is moving towards a scientific way of approaching, and the more we train our coaches, the more they can be able to implement and impact our athletes in the way we need that to be done. In terms of the sports administrators, I think this is an indication. A lot of you have been here previously because we've been having administrators courses, training people to be administrators, training top level, middle level, and we believe that should always continue. Scholarships, again, just like with commissions, at the beginning, whenever an invitation would go, you'd find that the response was not as good. And we started opting to going beyond federations and probably making it public so that we can get more and more people. But in the last 18 months, there has been a lot of uptake of the scholarship. We've realized that within the federations, there are people who have extremely good qualifications, and when these, especially postgraduate programs, are availed, we need to reach out to as many people within our federation so they can be able to benefit. And a number of people have been able to benefit through that. Almost every year these programs are there, and we hope they can continue being there and being taken advantage of, more importantly. We had a treasurers meeting, for those who know, to build and develop the capacity of our treasurers so they can understand the reporting structures, but also have a consistent way of running our federations. The person you see there is William Nanjaro, who benefited from a scholarship program. Why we have put that picture is because he was able to come and make a presentation to what we call the Game Changers and the Commonwealth Games. It means somebody goes there, gets scholarships, and brings the knowledge back to the country. So he was able to come and train youngsters of around 18 to 23 years in terms of the knowledge they have. The International Olympic Committee program has a lot of programs under the medical field. This is an area federations need to take advantage of, developing their support system of athletes, especially the medical field, to be able to take advantage of that. Federations, I believe this is probably of the greatest importance. Equipment, we've been able to support federations through the equipment, not as much as the needs require, because the resources are around this level and the needs are at another level. And this is one area where the engagement with the Ministry of Sports, and we are happy that the Commissioner is present listening to us making this presentation. Infrastructure and equipment is a big issue. We know that has been the area of you are given equipment by your international federations, but when you come to Kenya, you need money for clearing, you need money for taxes. That's really an area, and I'm happy that some of us who are seated here are vying for members of parliament to go and change that particular aspect, and we believe that will be changed. Thank you. So we benefited because it can be directly through finance or through partnership, and the way for Taekwondo was through partnerships. Grants, we benefited, all of us as federations, from the annual grant which has been given. We realized that you can send a team, but they cannot participate because the federation has not paid just the affiliation fees, or they have not a basic, very basic preparation. And therefore this was just to kickstart what later government started taking up in terms of the support. This is an area where we are all hoping that can be improved as we go on, because the money is needed in our federations. Since 2018, federations have been getting $500,000 for their different support. I know it's become so exciting that now people are asking for advance, and the finance team has not been able to. We've been able to provide tickets and support to go to international forums in terms of general assemblies for all our members, and we're happy that a lot of federations are taking that, and there's some indication that the fruits will start bearing in your consistent presence in these forums, and you'll start vying for some of those positions, which will be good for Kenya because there'll be representation. Content marketing, this is a new area which the whole world is embracing. Through our media team, we've been able to follow what federations are doing and be able to amplify. You all know, and I know I'm speaking this at a risk of either being misunderstood or not people getting clearly, that the sports coverage in Kenya is limited. If you look at an average news item, they give probably very few minutes, while they give lots of time to other areas, especially politics and other probably human interest stories. And therefore for sports, we have to start speaking and talking and giving our own stories. This is what the media team is trying to do, that we need to know what's happening. The people never knew there is squash. They need to start knowing there is squash happening at is it right now public service? Every Saturday morning their kids being trained. The people who don't know they're shooting and it's happening. The people who don't know there's boxing happening in Kisumu this weekend, through this media we are able to tell the story. So that's an area we invite federations to continue taking advantage of, but more importantly start developing their own content.
That is Francis Mutuku, the Secretary General of the National Olympics Committee of Kenya, and he has been speaking there at the AGM and elections of NOK Kenya. We shall be bringing you the details of that story in our subsequent bulletins.